deal was you hold till 45. No, you said that you would hold till 45. That was the agreement, bruv. No. Look, hold till 45 and then we can renegotiate, bruv. I know, I'm not interested in that. Listen, you said you would hold till 45. Listen, I got to go live, man. I got my people waiting for me. Hold till... Steve, don't wind me up, please, bruv. I said to you, I will get the escorts later. Hold till 45. Why are you going to do that? Right, listen, I've got to go, man. I can't, no. You're only wasting my time. What's good, ladies and gentlemen? Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Traders Reality. I just had to settle a little bit of beef that I've got going off with my good old friend, Steve. Look, we've got some big news coming very soon regards to the ETF. Like, we've got the deadline. Now, the window apparently is between January the 4th going in through to the 10th. Is this move to the upside consistent with people buying Bitcoin because they feel like they're going to miss out on it? Or is this because they need to pick up cryptocurrency, or specifically Bitcoin, so that they can actually roll this ETF out? Now, let's be honest now, you know, don't you think they would have planned that beforehand and not leave it to news sources suggesting that the ETF is imminent and it's going to be inevitable that it's going to get approved? Now we're just literally getting through the red tape. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about that very, very shortly in tonight's live. More importantly, I'm going to be diving into good old EXO Charts again, but we're going to be talking about Delta and how to understand the missing piece of the puzzle when it comes to potential reversals in the chart. Now, of course, if you don't use EXO Charts, it's just a way of you to understand order flow. But we've got Bitcoin making a nice little flavoursome move, and that's why I've decided to go live sooner rather than later. Now, if you are new, hit the like button. Let's get with the etiquette of the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, I need to apologise. I had a phone call that I needed to obviously take, but we're going to get the party started off with a good old glass of kefir milk. Great for the immune system, and it's good for Bitcoin. So, let's get with the flavor, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have a conversation, man. So, what we got? Oh, earlier today, people were like, no, Tino's gone bullish, and I'm going to go short. Course you went short, bruv, and you ended up paying the price. But was it a surprise, mother trucker? That 5 and 13 EMA yet again, delivering the flavor on the daily. And on the 1 hour time frame, we see the snapback reversal in BTC. I hope you didn't go short at that time. Would have been a bit of a sore sight right there, ladies and gentlemen. Dearly beloved Bookmap has come to save the day yet again. Remember our little zone that we marked off with Bitcoin? Let me just zoom out a little bit. Okay, then. So where was my drawing on Bitcoin? Come on. Where was it? It wasn't there. No worries. Go back and watch the previous live stream. It was inside of this range where the VWAP was. We wanted the VWAP, but the VWAP was going to give us the flavor to understand if Bitcoin was going to continue higher. And yes, it did. The confluences all came in together. And my point is, I'm trying to get you guys to understand how to spot the opportunity to exploit the movement to the upside. Now, hold on a second. What's going on here? Ignore and continue. Yes. Okay. If we just zoom out a little bit, maybe a little bit too much, we've got commitment coming in at 42,600. All right. There's interest up here. Now, the book is imbalanced to minus 27% limit sells. People are selling right now, which is why price is going up. Okay. That's what triggers the imbalance. Now, Bitcoin doing the flavor. Right. We now need to go and get our good old friend EXO and have a look at what he's saying. Euro, you've been a pain in the ass, but a nice little slow burn to the upside today. Here we go. So, EXO charts. I'm going to get to this very shortly, but we're only going back into previous imbalances in the chart, ladies and gentlemen. Looking at the volume profile, I can see we got 173. We've been paying attention to how there's been 35, 45, 55 Bitcoin orders. Now we're seeing 173 lots, contracts, you name it, whatever it needs to be. coming in on this move to the upside, which is what we're seeing happening. What else we got? 46 yet again. 48 down at the lows, 45 at the top side, 28 right there. I'm more interested in what happened down here. So 46 right there, 44, 40, and we got 38, 68, failing to break price down lower, going into the VWAP, yippee-ki-yay to the upside. Now, what can we expect from this range? Well, if I expand this bad boy out and then go into here and then look at this point in the chart right here, you're going to have a little bit of an understanding about something. So let me just mark this over here so you guys can see what I'm looking at in a short second. Happy days. Right. So there's Bitcoin's price for you right there. And we're going to get this depth of market right here. Okay, cool. So this is depth of market on Binance. It's effectively going to give us the understanding of where we are in terms of price, okay? And where is the commitment. Right now, Bitcoin is at the value area high, okay? Which is around the 42K zone. What we need to see happening is Bitcoin to try and surpass this value area high and get more people to buy, all right? And we know that there's people willing to buy because there's been commitment there already, okay? So the logic says that we're going to be expecting some more groundbreaking movement in Bitcoin. But let me just explain to you what I'm talking about in regards to this whole story about the ETF. So we can put weight to this. And then when I go into it, take it with a pinch of salt to understand where we are. So articles like this: Bitcoin tops 41K, hits 19-month high on the ETF hopes and bets on the Fed cuts. Do I think Bitcoin can go to an all-time high? It's possible, okay? But we've got to follow what the Fed's going to do and when they decide to actually start cutting the rates. That's going to be a problem for us. But before we get into that, what would justify Bitcoin's move to the upside? Quite frankly, the approval, the $17 trillion Bitcoin ETF pump into the marketplace. Remember, there's already ETFs out there. And supposedly, according to sources, not many institutional funds are quite interested in Bitcoin ETFs. But spot is a different story, but fundamentally, it's still an ETF. Now, this is what you've got to take into consideration. As you've heard me say before, two types of ETFs. You've got the physical ETF and the synthetic ETF. The physical ETF could be justified with Bitcoin's move to the upside. Why? Because it means that these hedge fund managers or BlackRock, Grayscale, how much more crypto or Bitcoin do you need? You hold currently 600,000 and, it's one of them ones. You just want to convert your trust into a spot. So that's going to be an interesting one right there. What we've got to understand is this move to the upside, is it sustained with the idea that these hedge fund managers, if they're going to be endorsing this spot Bitcoin ETF, they need to hold themselves a little bit of Bitcoin for example, for the ETF holders? Well, of course they are if they're going to be doing the physical ETF. All right, remember, the physical ETF is going to be based on Bitcoin, how much they hold, and what profit they're generating from that. A synthetic ETF is based on the idea that Bitcoin's derivative, or the price of Bitcoin, when it moves up, are we going to see some flavor? Or when it moves down, are we going to be losing money on the ETF? That's what the difference is. And if you're going to get involved in this ETF, make sure you're sticking with the idea of a physical ETF. It's so much less volatile than what the synthetic one will be. Why? Because if a physical ETF holds X amount of Bitcoin and Bitcoin's price shoots up, their value of their ETF in principle, or their holdings of Bitcoin, is generating them a return. Happy days. But then if you're in the synthetic one, if Bitcoin's price moves up, you're a king for a day, and then when it drops back down, you're fucked. And that's what happens. There's two types of ETFs, which is why maybe the interest for the ETF previously hasn't really been grabbing too many people, because it's based off the derivative of Bitcoin, which means it's too volatile. Now, going back into this idea of the Fed pivot, look, ETF, look, 41,000, good news. 19-month high, good news. ETF hopes, good news. Bets on the Fed cuts, great news. It's not. Oh no, Tino's now turned into a perma bear. No, I haven't turned into a perma bear. I'm not even a perma bull. Because it's all BS, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to what's going to happen. If history teaches us anything, it's human nature doesn't change. Behind every single Fed pivot, there is a corrective phase in the marketplace, We've just changed the monetary policy. That means we're not increasing interest rates anymore. We're going to decrease them. Naturally, in the December meeting, the Fed's going to be telling us if they're going to increase it or are they actually going to decrease it by the first quarter. Where am I going with this? The Fed pivot is where the market's correct. We've been going up non-stop. NASDAQ near its all-time high. S&P near its all-time high. Bitcoin trying to get towards its all-time high. Assets across the board are so overvalued. It's unbelievable. Yields are still inverted. Bonds are so cheap. Once the Fed pivots, that, ladies and gentlemen, will lead to a corrective phase. That is when the bull market starts, because the Fed pivot will be for a short period of time, I believe. And then that's when you're going to see the shift to the upside. I hope I am wrong, but there's nothing stopping Bitcoin from moving up towards its all-time high. There's nothing stopping it, okay? I know nothing, neither do you, because the market doesn't work that way. Just because I say Bitcoin can't go up anymore, does it mean it's not? No. But what I'm trying to say to you is, based on historical evidence, or more so human nature, all right? You pull up when the Fed pivots, we're always seeing a correction when they change the policy. Now, moving forward with regards to the bank scare that we had and the stress tests that these banks were failing at, right? Banks started to buy up banks because they knew the government wasn't going to step in. We've already got a $33 trillion debt problem in the US, okay? And they can't even meet the standards of their returns on their obligations. So we've got that problem, to say the least. You've even got the big player in China, the Evergrande property developer, and that portfolio is already being screwed over for fraud by the CEO. Like, look, we got problems. If China slows down, we slow down. Simple as. Because China's going to be one of the biggest players who's buying up US debt, government bonds. And if they ain't buying that, then ciao, ciao. You have nothing to stand on. But it doesn't mean that Bitcoin can't continue higher. I'm saying that Bitcoin is going to keep moving up as we get closer and closer towards pinnacle points in the marketplace. FOMC, which is happening next week, 13th of December, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you tune into that bad boy, because we're going to be listening to what good old Mr. Powell has to say, whether he's telling someone to just close the fucking door or get the fuck out or whatever he decides to say. I think I'm a little bit more explicit than Powell. Forgive me if I'm swearing too much, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm only getting the point across to you all. Now, do you get my Tokyo drift? Yes, Bitcoin can move up. It's a volatile asset. Someone says something about Bitcoin, it moves up. If the weather or the degrees of the temperature outside is somewhat lower, then it means that Bitcoin is consuming too much energy because of the mining. Bullshit reasons for Bitcoin to go up and down. That's how impressionable Bitcoin is. But there is a big event that's happening very soon, which is the Fed pivot, and it's being sold on the idea that it's all good news. I hope that when the Fed pivots, the market doesn't drop. I hope, ladies and gentlemen, I genuinely do hope. But I'm only setting you up just to be a little bit aware, guys, because it just doesn't look sustainable. This move in Bitcoin is ETF. It's news-based. It's hype. It's FOMO. I'm missing out on the move to the upside. That's how the average investor is going to be thinking. All right? Once the ETF does get approved, yeah, we are going up. We're going to see that. And they've already probed that even on the first announcement of the ETF itself. That sent Bitcoin crazy. So yeah, I'm all about the movement higher, but always have in the back of your mind how the monetary system works, how the markets operate. They've increased interest rates for 10 consecutive times. That's how long they've been doing it for, all right? 10 increases. That's way too fast, ladies and gentlemen. 5.5%, 5.25, whatever the rate is. Now they're looking at holding to effectively come back down again. That means we've got different things happening. Money might be coming, it's going to be cheaper, but it might be harder to obtain because they don't want these banks to suffer anymore. Silicon Valley Bank. We only had the same instance back in the day with the 2007-2008 subprime mortgage crisis. But that was because the banks were reckless with their consumers. Now we're talking about banks being reckless amongst themselves, not managing their expectations or their risks correctly. Now, as much as we would all like Bitcoin to decouple away from the stock market and all that jazz, stock market is up, Bitcoin is up. We want to see Fed pivot, market cracks, Bitcoin flies. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the only event that Bitcoin has not experienced completely. A Fed pivot. Now, what am I talking about? Well, we haven't had this much capital in Bitcoin. We haven't had this much endorsement of Bitcoin. Bitcoin hasn't been listed all over the place back when the last Fed pivot happened. It wasn't. It was just starting out. Take that into consideration as we approach the Fed pivot. People think it's good that we're going to decrease interest rates. Yeah, but it's a change in doing business. These companies still have to service these loans that they've got the interest rates at 5.25%. Corporate debt is going to get slapped in the first quarter. I'm telling you. Once the Fed declares they're going to stop, they're going to cut the interest rates, we will get a rally. But then that's the setup or the climatic move for Fed pivot where the market corrects. Go over Twitter. Go have a look. Everyone thinks Bitcoin's going to take a shit from this zone. Okay, cool. They said it would happen at 40, 42. No problem. They said it's going to happen at 42. Well, we're going over 42. There's too much steam behind it. If anyone's going to try and get their last dibs on Bitcoin whilst it's going up or sell it whilst it's going up, this is the time that they're doing it with. All right? Just take that into consideration, ladies and gentlemen. So, now that the rant is over, ladies and gents, forgive me for that. What have we got here? Yes, pump it till the wheels fall off. Then we add to the bags at lower prices. Correct. Bro, how the F do you know the economy to this detail? We talk about it every day, bro. Every day we talk about it. And that's why people in cryptocurrency, they will focus on all the on-chain analytics and all of this stuff and the whale's moving this money and he's putting this money here. And then, yes, that means you buy. If a whale holds his cryptocurrency, and let's just assume this right now. You got my brother is holding nearly 15,000 Bitcoin, for example, or he's holding 900 Bitcoin. You hold 900 Bitcoin or 1,000 Bitcoin, or you're a part of the 1% who hold the most Bitcoin around the world. You ain't doing it from a bedroom, all right? When you're still at home with your mum and she still makes you pancakes or still makes you cups of tea. I mean, my mother, she makes me cups of tea, but I don't want no one else to make them because she makes them so fucking good, you know? But let's just be frank. These guys moving this money about, and they do it at particular times, know that people in crypto are only watching their movements, but they're not understanding why they're moving it to exchanges. Because they obviously know something. They got a friend who knows a friend who's banging another friend who knows a twin called Tom. They know something. They're all in bed together. They know when it's the right time to buy and they know when it's the right time to sell. But people get trapped up with cryptocurrency on-chain analytics, not to say that they don't stand. Don't get it messed up. I'm saying that it does hold its ground. These are the on-chains. That's we need that kind of thing. But step outside and be like, hold on a second, bro. Why don't I just follow what big money's doing? And where's big money? Yields. Where's big money? Bonds. Where's big money? Transactions between dollar and euro. That's what you got to focus on. Isn't it bizarre how Bitcoin and cryptocurrency's been moving up? Euro's been taking a shit. Dollar's been going up. But cryptocurrency's moving up. What's going on? Are they loading up on their euros to effectively get more euros off the back of a strong dollar so that they can then convert their dollars into... We don't know. But we can only take the idea of standard economics and put it to the test. Anyway, shall I just start talking some price action? Fucking hell. What's Bitcoin doing? Here we go. What did we say? We said Bitcoin would go to the upside, ladies and gentlemen. You heard my phone conversation. I told Steve he ain't allowed to get rid of his crypto. What we got here? Nice commitment to the upside. Right. What have we got? Okay, then. So let's get with the flavor. Deltas. What have we got? Problem with Delta is where it appears. You really want to pay attention to where the delta appears in the chart. What's delta? Well, delta is the net buys and sells. Okay, that's what it is. It's you take the sum of that and work out who's buying, who's selling, and it's presented with a percentage. And that percentage down below here is saying 58%, 50%, 23%, 35%, 38%. Bitcoin's going to take a fucking move to the upside, ladies and gentlemen. It's been consolidating all day. It's had every reason to drop. It has dropped. It's come back. It's bounced the 5 and 13 EMA. And Bitcoin is getting ready to make a splendiferous move to the upside. That's not financial advice. It's just common sense. Now, the problem that I have with the delta appearing right here and it being so strong is because the delta at the highest point where you're seeing transactions like this and this green 38%, 35%, 23%, 58% is consistent with climatic behavior, all right? Before they mark it up again, they're going to snap it back down to mark it back up again because that's the relationship with delta, okay? If you notice where the delta is that is most impressionable in the charts is where you see the highs of the day and the lows of the day. We've now got delta at the highest point of the day in principle with Bitcoin, all right? This is where people are buying, and that's the truth right there, okay? Now, people are buying here, which tells you that there's someone selling. So you've got to really be thinking about the opposite. Delta is only valid when it's appearing at the lowest point of a previous move. Like so. Look at this. What's the delta in this area? This delta down here is at 18%, but the volume's not present. There's a problem for me. So I'm going to assume that the move might not be sustained too long, but when you've got low volume, you've got high volatility. Now, let's go to another spot in the chart. Look at this. This is 13% delta, and it's 1.5K volume. That's good news for me. The move is sustained. It goes all the way up. Then what do we have? We have another climatic move of delta, 21%. After that move to the upside where this chump bear right here sold at 190. Look what happened after. Bitcoin snapped all the way back down again. That was because the delta was at the highest point, climatic behavior. Again, where's the next climatic point? You've got this one, 52% move to the upside on the delta. Where is it? It's at the highest point. They reverse it back down again, and aggressive at that. Now, you can take the net sales of delta because they say that when the delta is rising, and it's positive, you buy, buy, buy. Well, we know you buy because look, that's what happens. Yeah, delta's 51%, 52% on this candle right here, ladies and gentlemen. What don't you see? If you've understood it, you will say that you don't see anyone buying. Why? Why don't you see anyone buying here? Hold on a second, Tina. You got me all messed up now, bro. Those green things right there imply imbalances, which suggest, or deltas, which suggest that there's buying activity. Yes, there is buying activity, but it can only happen if someone is selling. What brethren, what person, human would buy here? Because there will always be someone to sell. That's why. If someone comes in and buys there at the top side of 42,000, yeah, baby, Bitcoin 42K. They were sold into. Look left. There's no one buying. That's the sell. Yeah? People are being sold to. Whenever you see an aggressive move up, an aggressive move down, always be mindful of the fact that Bitcoin still is climbing up. Delta, I'm telling you, yo, ladies and gentlemen, this is phenomenal. 11.5. They're buying. They're still buying. They're still buying up. It's coming down. They've just shaken out all those guys in the long. They're still buying. They're still buying. Here we go. Back up. Off you go. Thank you very much, Bitcoin. Keep going. Up you go. Not bad, huh? Not bad. Yep, some shorts are getting wrecked, ladies and gentlemen. Is it? Still. Solana still not bringing that flavor. MATIC still not bringing that flavor. Ethereum, 247. Our trade is doing nicely. Happy days. Going back up now. I believe tonight in Asia, we should be seeing the 2,300. That's what I'd be expecting for Ethereum. Nice little gain there, ladies and gentlemen. Opened the trade on Sunday, holding it out. I don't like swing trading crypto, but we take advantage of plays like this. Fuck it, why not? Making money, easy game. But it's not easy game, it's a hard game. Let me be frank with you, ladies and gentlemen. Trading is the hardest, easiest way to make money, all right? It is a difficult gag. Don't get it twisted, all right? You can make money, you lose money, but the whole point is to make sure that when you get in right, you get in good. No different to the game of poker, all right? You got a pair of aces and you shove pre-flop. Statistically, you are winning with the best hand. The dude to the right on the button turns around to you and says to you, ha, you've gone all in, huh? Well, how about this Jack Deuce offsuit? And he hits 3 of a kind twos. Welcome to poker. Welcome to variance. The same thing is the same in trading. That's all it is, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go back into the Bookmap for a second. What we got? So the Bookmap presents us the delta in the same token. These big green bubblers are representative of deltas, okay? So they're going up. Like, look, 42,500. We're expecting that range because the limit buys, the limit sells were imbalanced, okay? So they've gone to sweep that liquidity. Now, I'm not seeing anything else above, all right? Other than 45. So you may have heard my phone conversation. That was not financial advice. That was a genuine deal that I've got with Steve. Like, I've got to make sure that Steve, hold on. Yeah, I've got to make sure that Steve is fully aware of what he's getting involved in. I've got a deal with Steve, and he's going to be honoring that. So, yeah, 1,000 orders at Bitcoin with 45K. That is very interesting, but there's nothing in between right here, so we're going to be very careful. Does it mean Bitcoin is going to go to 45K? No, it's not that it is. Remember, guys, it's not that it is going to 45K. There is a good probability and a strong chance that Bitcoin is going to go to 45K. All right? There's a strong chance. If you don't see trading in terms of probabilities, get out of trading. All right? Because then you're looking for indefinites, and there is no such thing as an indefinite in trading. All right? There is no such thing as an indefinite. There is no definite behind price holding the 5 and 13 EMA. Oh, it happened to work today. It happened to work the day before. It happened to work the day before. But each moment is inconclusive of each other. All right? Mark Douglas, Trading in the Zone. Get the book, read it to understand the story of probabilities. The 4-year-old boy goes up to a dog. He goes and strokes the dog. He has no experience of being bitten by a dog, so he has no fear. He then gets bitten by the dog. The child grows up to avoid dogs. He's got that fear installed in his mind. The same way when you come to trading, when you have no experience of trading, you've not had an experience, a huge loss. You come to trading, beginner's luck. Variance works in your favor. It goes in your favor. You make a shit ton of money. Happy days. Then all of a sudden you lose the money. Then what do? You're a little bit more risk averse. You don't want to put the money down anymore. You're a little bit concerned. It's all psychological. So when you do get yourself presented with an instance where you're saying to yourself, right, Bitcoin to the upside or not, you're going to go back in your mind and say, well, when Bitcoin was at 21,000 or 22,000 and I didn't think it was going to go any higher, what if I'm in the same situation right now? It's inconclusive. It's indefinite. You can't put that to the test. You can't. It doesn't matter. Each moment is completely separate to each event. When you understand that, then nothing stops you from succeeding in trading. Why? Because you're seeing it from a terms of probability, not being emotionally attached to this fucked up game that we play every single day. One man's fun is another's hell. That's the basis of this game, okay? When you accept that and understand that, you have a better chance of coming to the game logistically, systematically, and objectively. You say, if the 5 and 13 EMA manage to sustain themselves, we expect prices to go higher. If Bitcoin still manages to sustain this liquidity to the upside, we expect Bitcoin to go and clear 43. As long as we see liquidity coming into the top, happy days. We expect Bitcoin to move higher. We go back into EXO Charts. And then we consider the following. What have we got? Oh, we got some nice little flavor, some deltas up there. Okay, so they've marked price back down again. Now what do we want to see? Well, we've got the VWAP all the way down here. We've got the start of a new marketplace, or the futures markets will be opening in 35 minutes or so because they've just reset. Now we're looking at this current range with Bitcoin. What we got? We got deltas coming in at the lowest point, 23%, volume 917. Not really what I want to see, but I want to see more. Now, we've got 15 on the delta. We've got 16 imbalance right there. An imbalance is when you're looking at price from the top side right here, 16 going into 0.13. That means there is an imbalance. Why? Because it's nearly 400% more than what it should be. That's an imbalance. You can set it to 250 or 300%. I have it to 400% because there's so many imbalances in present in Bitcoin. Here we go. So what have we got? We got a little bit of flavor moving up in the chart. Don't like this little area here, so we've got to be very careful because they can snap back down again. When you see this pushing and tugging of the chart, then you're going to be saying to yourself, oh, okay, then how likely is it going to continue from this point? Probabilistic. How are you going to train yourself to be objective and systematic if you don't think about it systematically? Don't be like, oh my God, someone said Bitcoin's going to go down. Is it going to go down from this point? Fuck what they say. Forget what I say. Take what I'm saying in terms of how to use the tools and apply it for yourself. Due diligence. That's all you've got to do, ladies and gentlemen. This game is wrong. It is a messed up game. It really is. But when you understand it and you've sat enough hours watching it, and listen, you can make the mistake of being good at a bad habit. That's what I was like. I was the best at this bad habit, you know? How many of you smoke? You're all good at smoking. You put it on your hand, you light it up, you can do it when you're driving, you can roll when you're doing whatever. You're all good at a bad habit. The same thing in trading. You can be good at a bad habit in this, all right? So how do you get good at something? Well, okay, find something that you know can work, something that is not indefinite, because no such thing as indefinites in trading, okay? Find an approach that works for you. Look at the deviation away from the 50 EMA. So only wait until price shows volatility. Then play the game. If it comes back into it, you want to focus on the 5 and 13 EMA pulling back. Where do you see that? You see it right here, okay? Now, this is on a higher time frame, different story. Apply what I'm saying to you on the smaller time frames because the 5 and 13 EMA are continuously fluctuating on there. Here's your little boxes right here. My days. My kafir is working numbers on me. There's your little box right there. Now we've got a bigger box right here. Okay, we've got clear deviation away from the moving average. Just because Bitcoin's gone up, does it mean you have to short? No. The momentum is still present in the chart. Go to the 1 minute time frame. What have you got? You've got the range weekly high. Bitcoin consolidating sideways right here. Okay, so what's inside of this area? Quickly have a look at EXO. What we got? All right then. So I've got collection deltas at the lowest point. 44 right there on the delta. Okay, so it's sustained that this area could hold at the 5 and 13 EMA. Take that same logic and go and repeat it. That's how you objectify the way to trade. Where do you get emotional? When you start putting the fucking house down. When you use too much leverage. That squeezes you. That disconnects you from thinking about things logically. You guys want altcoins? Do you guys want altcoins? Stephen, Loshavio, welcome to the holders. Sorry, I am going for it tonight. Don't like to drink on stream. It's not the correct thing to do. But yeah, do you want the altcoins? Man. What we got? IOT. What have you got? All right then. 1 minute time frame. Altcoin. What's this coin? Anyone? Here we go. Oh, very good. Nice. Beyond the range daily high, beyond the range weekly high, beyond the range average monthly range, beyond the range daily low, the daily open, the psychological high. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to the Traders Reality website. Go to courses and take this free course. It's free. Just do it, okay? That way we all can be on the same page. Come on, work. Take this free course. It costs you nothing but 1 hour. You've sat with me for 34 minutes right now. Another 34 or 40 minutes, you'll know everything you need to know about everything I talk about in the live streams, the patterns, the moving averages, the volume, the pivots, the levels, the ADRs, the AWRs, the psi levels, the vectors, the trading style. And this is no bullshit course either. I give you real-time examples when I'm talking about it, what it means, and then you'll notice in the time of the videos, it's only literally after 10, 15 minutes. I can't get any better education on this system anywhere else. Some people will put it on whatever, man. I don't give a shit. Do this course. It's free. You learn everything. There's PDFs in there. Don't go to resources. Resources, it doesn't have it there because I purposely set the course up in such a way that you work through everything individually till you get to the PDF. All right? Don't jump to the PDFs because you ain't going to have a clue what they're doing. All right? So make sure you do this course. You've got to become a bronze member. It's free to become a bronze member on the Traders Reality website. But just do this course so we're all on the same page. All right, happy days. Now, what else have we got? Let's have a look at MATIC. MATIC looking to flavor some moves. Solana's really winding me up because it's not doing anything. But Ethereum is the one that's making moves. Bitcoin's the one that's making moves, but Solana ain't doing anything. XRP, back to stablecoin VIL. Euro, gold, of course. Tesla, doesn't look like it's the stock market's day today, ladies and gentlemen. Back into the altcoins. Let me have a look. Super up 30. Luna is up 32%, ladies and gentlemen. That is phenomenal. $1.18. What an absolute storm. Super just below that at 32 cents, 32%. All right, we've got some flavor, and Super looks like it's going to be going for it. Look, range daily high, range daily lows are all completely blown out of the charts. DAG is very choppy, but looking quite promising, ladies and gentlemen. So just be very careful with that. It's quite a choppy asset, in my opinion. Smooth Love Potion, not bad. Nice little flavor move. RSR, climbing. It's literally everything is up. So the first thing that you want to do, guys, is go to the totals chart. Go to total 3 to understand where you are with the altcoins. Most altcoins are coming away from the 50 EMA. You can now assume that most altcoins now are going to see some flexibility to the upside, which means, ladies and gentlemen, if you look at it from the logic of 423 billion and 427 billion, you effectively need around $4 billion more to see the recovery of this vector candle, okay? So now you need to go and look at assets that are at the 50 EMA with the promise of it going up. Any assets that are away from the 50 EMA, stay away because they could stabilize at this point and pull back. So those assets that are above the 50 EMA, which are altcoins, they could be looking to retrace back down again. That means that on this chart right here, if it comes up and hits this liquidity of the red vector candle region right here, the logic would say that they will then come back down again to test into the psychological high, to consolidate until the next move to see prices move to the upside. But remember, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow we got the ISM, we got the JOLTS job openings, which could impact the Forex markets, which could impact cryptocurrency, which brings me to even more suspicion about this move to the upside. I think they're going to move it all in Asia and then set it up for tomorrow. All right? So take that into consideration. Someone is saying to me, what? Yeah, there's not even any news with Luna. All right, let me just check. What is this? BEAMX. Nice. Okay, what's this? We just had the totals chart, okay? So this is one of those coins that looks like it's going to show the promise of going up, okay? Because it's forming the same structure, psychological highs, holding out, okay? 50 EMA, 5 and 13 EMA, above the 50 EMA, but not quite. Not quite. We want to see some more expansion away from the moving average, more of a trend, more momentum to start building up into that play. Bitcoin, coming back down now. Never mind. You're loading up. Of course you are. Back to the VWAP. 42,120. No problem there. Let's go back into it. Let's have a look. Yeah, standard. Standard Bitcoin behavior. Nothing to worry about. Yeah. What else have we got? Look, the reason why I look at these altcoins is because you want me to look at these altcoins. If I'm quite frank with you, the only altcoins that you're going to be looking at is Bitcoin. No, sorry, is either Ethereum, okay? You've got BNB, which is taking a bit of a slap in the face. MATIC, Solana, okay? I don't even like to look at XRP. It's just, it's, again, love-hate relationship with it. It's one of them ones. Does this out of the blue. But you know, when you want altcoins, guys, like you're looking at this thing here, this Genidata and IOTX. What I'm looking for, I've set the filters on here to only show me volume above 10 million. All right, because I know if 10 millions come in, I can assume that 10 million is going to come out because it is a light amount of volume in relation to the altcoin itself. But what I'm looking for is when I'm seeing transactions above 10 million and can consistently see the same coin's name popping up. Someone's asked me about BIGTIME. Let me just pull up BIGTIME for a second. BIGTIME USDT. Here we go. Let's have a look at that. Rough 90 cents. Nice little sharp, just below $1. This thing has been moving up. Again, look, right, it's having its move to the upside. It's very excited. Any altcoins that have moved like this, these are shorting opportunities. But you've got to be careful, man. All right? Look at the market cap. If the market cap for BIGTIME, hypothetically, is, let's say, 50 billion. Let's just put random figures. Say it's 50 billion, just for the nature of demonstration, right? And then you go to a website like this that gives you the information, and you can see on BIGTIME, someone is selling BIGTIME. What did I just see here? Someone's selling BIGTIME right here for 19 million. You ain't going to be too worried about that, okay? It's not that much in relation to 50 billion, all right? But then what if BIGTIME's market cap itself is like 20, or let's say it's 150 million. Someone selling 20 million, that's a little bit of a large amount for an altcoin. Okay, so it's a fifth of the actual market cap in principle. So that's a bit of a problem. That could be a bigger player with a bigger bag. All right. So make sure you're taking that into consideration when you're trading certain altcoins. You won't have that problem with Solana. You won't have it with BNB. You won't have it with XRP. You won't have it with MATIC. You won't have it with DOT. You won't have it with all these altcoins that are big stack. Right? When you've got the big stack altcoins, you ain't got to worry about volatility other than the volatility that comes in cryptocurrency because of news. All right? But when they're doing these pump and dumps, like, look, rats. What is rats? What is this? Right, let's just go to get IO. Excuse me. 007, right? And this is exactly what I'm talking about. Look at this. That is rough. I mean, look, no discredit to anyone that has just recently invested in this. This could be a decent project. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. It's just come up on my radar, and I'm looking at it, and I'm saying to myself, okay, what's relevant about this? Let's just do something interesting. Fiat. Let's have a look at where the money is really going right now. Let's have a look at FiatLeak. No, I'm not going to join you on there. What's this? Get rid of that. All right, then. Where's BTC? Hold on. If you don't know about this, guys, you should have it on as a slideshow. If you own a bar or you run a restaurant and you're all about cryptocurrency, get this on a TV screen, on a monitor, and just let it run. It's absolutely fantastic. Really relaxing to watch at how active America is at buying Bitcoin, and the rest of the world is sad and asleep doing nothing. All right? So this is what we're looking at right now. 61 trades in the past minute. They're going crazy. Look, Korea. It's all happening in Korea. And this is just Bitcoin. All right. So it's moving nicely. Gives you a little bit of information on the top. SEC considers Fidelity Investments proposed Ethereum ETF. Ethereum blockchain produced equivalent of Honduras annual emissions before upgrade study. Bitcoin eyes 40K as 1 billion in Bitcoin withdrawals suggest bullish mood. Oh, that's old news. What else we got? Nearly 1 million users trust BitcoinWallet.com as their preferred wallet. That's a farce. I don't believe that. And listen, guys, apparently there's a phishing site on FEMEX.com. If you're with FEMEX, all right, or you're going to open an account, just make sure that you are clear with the URL, all right? A friend of mine, he thought he was with FEMEX and it ended up being a phishing site. His capital gone, all right? So just make sure you're looking at the URL. If you do Google whatever exchange, don't go for the first ad. Go down, scroll a little bit lower and find the true URL before you do join these exchanges, because people are getting swiped, all right? So just be very careful with that, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Ripple withdraws 1 billion XRP from its stash as community awaits Ripple case settlement. That will be consistent with why we saw this little snap down then with XRP. That could be the case. That could be one of the reasons itself. Any questions, ladies and gentlemen? The website is called FiatLeak. FiatLeak. What else you got? Yeah, they're probably, yeah. Cyrig, that is true. That could be loads of people buying Bitcoin on VPN as well. All right? Yeah, UK's gone to bed, bruv. Post office isn't open to buy you Bitcoin. That's what that is. UK, man. Everyone does everything by the fucking book, man. You know, you got these drivers that drive 30 miles an hour. Yes, 30 miles an hour. It's like they're growing mushrooms or they're carrying eggs in their boot. Move, man. Oh, goodness. Right, what's this? Okay, so we're seeing lots of liquidity going over. That's Russia. So someone's picking up a lot of Bitcoin. So we have 14 Bitcoins. It's not that much, guys. Look, 14 Bitcoins been picked up in this order here. Okay, what's that? 1.2 Bitcoin. All right, so they're not really that big. And what happens is when it plays a sound when it hits the high of the day or an all-time high, it goes crazy, an earthquake sound. It's quite relaxing, and it's got loads of coins, man. Loads of coins, right? So it's quite nice. You know, he's a postman, true that. You see? Could you implement the VWAP into the Trader's Reality Indicator? Quite frankly, you've got to understand, with the Trader's Reality Indicator, you've got all sorts of things happening on there, all right? And if I'm going to be straight with you all, the only thing that you need in relation to the hybrid system is understanding the behavior of the candlesticks. Because if you see a green vector candle coming away from a VWAP, you just added weight to the VWAP because the candlestick tells you what's going on. There's activity happening, all right? If I take out EXO Charts and look at that, in relation to the hybrid system, look, it's come back down into the VWAP itself. How could I understand that by the nature of the hybrid system and not just relying on it coming back into the VWAP, which is this purple line? All right, then. So I'll go onto the higher time frames, have a look there, go to the 1 minute time frame. What's the criteria? First red vector candle above the 50 EMA. There's a red vector candle. Bang. It hasn't taken the 50 EMA, but on the 1 minute time frame, it's starting to show me that things are starting to look to break down. But the thing about this is it could be coming back to that later on. All right. So you've also got to take that into consideration about the trend as well. If you're looking at it on the 1 minute time frame, deviation away from the moving average, you're shorting that in towards this zone. You better be getting out. It's a small move. But I use this on Forex. I use this in the futures markets when I'm scalping for quick ticks off this bad boy right here. Okay, when I'm only looking for 4 or 5 ticks on this is one of the funded accounts. It's the demo one. So I'm getting ready to pass this bad boy. But if I want to take advantage of a play on this and I'm looking for the S&P to move from the point of control, which is at 38,507, and I want to go in at 20 lots, 20 lot sizes or 20 contracts, I'm only looking for 4 or 5 ticks. Not even 4 or 5 ticks. I'm looking for like 2 or 3. All right, but S&P moves so crazy when you're using that sort of size, especially when you're trying to pass a funded account, for example. All right, and that's the risk I take. So I drop it down sometimes depending on the asset. I'll do that when I'm trading the bonds. 25 contracts, max it out because the bonds don't really move that aggressively and they move at least 2 or 3 ticks. Happy days with that. All right, but S&P, NASDAQ, anything less than 5 ticks, 5 contracts is decent. So you can at least set yourself a 10-tick stop loss with a 10 ticks profit. You know, it's going to make 10-tick move. All right. So you got to take that into consideration. Again, the vector candles, they give you that understanding of movement on what could happen and what may or may not happen. This is a clue as to what's going to happen later on. So take that into consideration. ADA. Right. ADA. While I'm talking about ADA, how many of you in the live? 1,300 of you beautiful people, 400 likes. I want to try and keep to the 1,000 like flavor. That's what we're about. All right, ADA. Man, this coin, man, it's just, I don't know what it is about ADA, all right? I never look at it, and all I do is hear everything about it, all right? This new staking platform, whatever it is. I've been staking, that's the shit thing. I've been staking ADA, right? I installed a node on my first laptop when I went live. Someone said, you should install ADA. I was like, okay, cool. So I installed this now. I've been mining ADA since the last bull run. So it was February 2021. All right, Daedus, what was it? The Daedus wallet? I don't even know if it's still running. But about couple of thousand ADA and I just chucked it into it. And it's been mining, if I'm correct, it's been mining ever since. I have, not mining, it's been I've staked it. So I don't know what's wrong with, I don't know, I can't even switch that laptop on. So if ADA goes to $4 or $5, I'll be pissed off. If it drops, I'll justify why I don't need to look for that laptop. I don't want it to keep going up because I cannot be bothered to look for that laptop. Higher time frames with ADA. Okay, showing the same flavor with Bitcoin. Let's be frank. The Santa rally could send it towards 44. Okay, that's on the 15-hour time frame. We could finalize the end of the year at 50 cents. And that's just if they do decide to mark up aggressively from this point. So take that into consideration. Okay. And get your ADA out, man. Lost all my ADA from Yuri wallet. Last bull run. Just got back in. All right, then. Now, let me just quickly go back into the BTC. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you are new to this live stream, get on that free course so you can make sense of what I'm doing here with this vector candles and all the jargon that comes with it as well. All right? It's free of charge. Go and take it. Become a bronze. Attention! You must have a free bronze membership to utilize the free course. It's packed with so much information. 1,380 people have taken it. So technically, you shouldn't have any questions about it. You'll know exactly what we're talking about when I say range daily high, range daily low, and all that madness. All right? Cool. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a pleasure. Mad love and respect for passing through to tonight's live stream. I've kept you guys way too long, but I'll be checking in with you all tomorrow and the New York Live. Take care of yourselves, gang. Mad love. Peace.